Hey everyone, today we are driving down a snow-covered road. Today is May 6th, 2023, up here in northern Maine. The snow is expected to be gone in the next week or so. So, this is probably going to be our last snowy video on this channel. I have a bunch backlogged and I mix them in a lot. So today we are just doing a podcast, I guess you'd call it, on this road, just talking about things we go by. I'm going to show you the treacherous 8-mile road back to the paved area. Now this road in the wintertime was being used for snowmobiles, and you can see up there that's all there is. The entire road I just drove on for the past half hour, so it's not plowed. So I had to watch it. A few spots were pretty deep snow. This morning I actually got stuck in a road, which will be in a video at some point. So what happened was I was kind of pushing it like a snow plow, and the front of the vehicle was suddenly up on top of the pile. The wheels could not touch the ground at all. So luckily I'm still carrying tire chains, and I still have my aggressive snow tires, which I knew helped me get off that a lot. And I don't know if this helped or not, but it felt like it helped. I put my foot on the brake, got the RPMs up with the gas, and then let go of the brake, and it seemed to help out a lot, the sudden movement of the chained up tires. So this bridge looks like it probably has structural damage. The entire bottom here is sinking where the river is hitting. So I want to take a look at this damage before we get into the vehicle and start moving. So is there anything underneath this block or even the support? Wow, look at those supports right there. Look how rotted out they are. Pretty rotted out supports. But these bridges, if they wanted this fixed, it could be replaced in a matter of days. Wow, look at that big old hole. See, they just put these timbers on it because, think about it. Just a few weeks ago, there was snow up to my waist, covering this whole thing. It seals everything. Snowmobiles can go over it without a problem despite these big holes. Now, the way it is, I'm thinking somebody actually did that maybe to send a car over there. I don't know. I know I could drive over this safely if I wanted, but I'm not going to. Now, you're not going to just fall through the bridge because there's massive I-beams that can hold 200,000-pound trucks. But the fact is, what is going on here around this corner? Oh, look. It looks like behind this retaining wall has some erosion in that hole. But the decking is in relatively good shape, but it's actually pretty rotten what's between the decking and the beams. Right here is a good amount of erosion also. No, that's not erosion. That's just a big old hole. And what I'm standing on right now, I don't think I'm going to crush through it because I'm not as heavy as a truck, but this is obviously all rotted out. Look at that. Yeah, so this was obviously done for a vehicle to get through here, not just a snowmobile. And you see these ribbons, it looks like these ribbons by their length may have been going all the way across and somebody just decided to drive right through them. So you see by how the grass is all pushed over. The spring thaw floods are about done. This area had almost 4 feet of snow on the ground about a month ago, and now, if you want to like average it out, there's probably still about a half a foot, but it's going away fast. We've had some warmer days. Today is now reading 39 degrees. This is probably our coldest day I've been out here this week. Look at this big culvert here to help with the floodwater relief over in this area. By the way the grass is pushed over, there was a good flow going through here not too long ago. All open. And I'm wearing my big high boots, so I could potentially go in here if I wanted. Doesn't look that deep, but it is very swift moving. And you see right over here, you see where the water's getting behind that wall and it's digging it out. You see how the wall's kind of crooked. Now that bridge, just looking at it, I don't think that thing is going anywhere. But it will be soon if it's not fixed. You see up here especially, look how rotten out some of those are. They still have a lot of strength to them though. Especially a passenger vehicle. Still pretty good. But I just knew I had to come down here and check out this road as soon as I saw a sign saying bridge out, 8 miles. Well, a lot of times when a bridge is out, I expected to find them putting a few of these blocks or rocks in the middle of the bridge so you literally couldn't use it unless you were walking on foot. It's usually what they do, and that's usually what you find when you go looking for a bridge out of service, but you quite literally could drive across this right now. I don't really see a danger in it. Now this piece that they're using right here, see that big bolt? This looks like this is actually part of a railing off another bridge. Yeah, see the big bolts right there? Those are actually very beefed up railings. This is what they have on most of them in case it was icy or whatever, or wet, slippery, just bump against that. It's scary. Some of the bridges don't actually have railings, or they just completely fell off. This is a very, very nice place. I gotta say that. That island right there would actually be a awesome place to go camping when the water level's a little bit lower and it's not soggy. But the thing is, there'd be so many ticks when that grass starts growing. So they have a sign saying bridge closed, but this is basically a at your own risk type of thing. Yeah, I'm not going to take that risk for a road that I don't even know how much further I could go down it. I know last week I attempted to go down this road. I didn't even get up to the part that says bridge closed 8 miles back. Not too many days ago, my vehicle wouldn't have made it down here, but the recent couple days in the 50s, the snow was like half as deep as it was. Got some moose tracks here. Most of these marks you're seeing here are the snowmobiles. All unplowed roads up north are snowmobile trails in the winter. Also, a lot of train tracks become snowmobile trails in the winter time. All right, everyone, we're in the vehicle and we're gonna go for a little drive. So there's an abandoned road here that looks like it hasn't been used in like 10 years. Couldn't possibly drive down what I'm backing into. This is my orange duct tape right there because I completely ran out of marking tape. This is a very busy time of year when you have all these floods and stuff going on all over the place. Yeah, you see the road right here, how grown in that is. It had to have been at least a decade of growth since a vehicle's been down there. A lot of these smaller roads that aren't main arteries stay open just because people are using them for fun. Off-roading clubs use them, hunters, camping. So I decided to go down this road today. Thought we could do some culvert inspecting. Not a single pipe is in bad condition on this road. But we're about to get into a snowy section of road. But I'm well prepared to get stuck for a long amount of time out here. You know, the amount of bumps that these roads have, it's actually going away now that I was able to sit at that bridge for a little while and relax. I've been having a headache today, and I think it's because of all the potholes. It throws the car around so much. And yes, I could be going like 5 miles an hour over them, but good luck getting anywhere doing that. Some of these roads are over 100 miles long a piece. But we love the roads this way. We like them to be treacherous, bumpy, snow-covered, eroded. We love that stuff. That's the fun in it. If these roads were ever to be paved, it wouldn't be fun. But thankfully, they'll probably never be paved because that would cost millions to do every couple miles of road. Just because it would have to be regraded, you'd have to have special kind of fill to prevent frost heaves, all that stuff, and it's just not going to happen. This is fun when we like it this way in the middle of nowhere. I remember there was one time, okay, so when you're on these roads, a lot of times, especially if someone's in a very small vehicle or whatever, sometimes you just drive by. I learned this from other people constantly doing it to me. You just drive by them really slow, give them a thumbs up, and see if they do it back or not. But this person rolled down their window and wanted to talk. The person had the yellow New York plates and said they were just complaining about how dirty their car was and how bumpy it was. I didn't say anything mean to them, but it was going through my head. Why are you even on these roads then? Just complaining about how dirty their car was since they came up here to go camping. We find these roads fun up here. We don't want these roads to change. We don't want these roads to be improved dramatically. This is the fun in it. But these roads can sometimes be miserable, like I talked about, when they're extremely bumpy like this one. You're going to see how bumpy it's going to get in a few miles. It gives you a headache after bump, bump, bump every other second. Not even every other second, multiple bumps every second, you're going to see. It knocks you around a lot when you have a vehicle that's not made to go off-road. For off-road, you want good shocks, you want giant sidewall tires for the smoothest ride. In a couple minutes that I have to put a couple of my wheels onto the edge where I know it's not as deep just to get traction, because I know I'd probably get stuck after pushing it. So if my car bottoms out, that means the snow is at least 8 inches deep, because I have 8 inches of clearance underneath. The only other tire tracks is from me just coming out here. Hoping to see something exciting. Just trying to fix the camera a little bit. Now, I found out a lot of people were thinking in my comments what that noise could possibly be. When I had my old camera, it was always making a shaking sound. I'm sure you can hear a little shaking sound, but it's not the same sound. The sound you're hearing is the window bracket just making some noise. But the very bad shaking sound the last camera had was the auto stabilization lens, which, you know, it's like in a little bubble. I think it was broken because it was... any modern phone, if you shake it, you can hear things inside making noises. But this was really bad because I think it was broken, probably from these roads. Constant bumping around all the time. Getting shaken around sometimes on the highway when you got mud stuck in the rims that falls off unevenly. Can have a bad ride. Yeah, look at this. The road is more snow covered than not up ahead. Yeah, we do have a lot of moose poops in this road. Maybe see a lot of them at night. Here's a, you know, I can see some spots where I did bottom out before. Not right here. Oh, this was a challenging part. I actually had to, yeah, I can see I bottomed out a little bit here. See this tree right here? It's extremely light. So I would be able to move it forward or back out of the road if it wasn't wedged between the two trees over to the right. I am not strong enough to pull it out of those trees and then move it. So I just broke a bunch of branches with my own weight. And with the vehicle over here, I just plowed through this bush and ran over that one part that I could not break. Like, see this tree? Just got to drive right through. It's probably going to shut my mirror. It shut the other side and it's still shut. I haven't Yep, just shut the mirrors. All right, and this is pretty deep right here too. Definitely bottomed out. I can see where I was plowing it slightly. So we're driving right now probably in like 10 inches of snow. See, that's just the traction control kicking in that doesn't want me to proceed. So both of my mirrors are shut. Just put the window down and I can push it back out. The other one I'll deal with later. So today is going to be my last day out here in the middle of nowhere. By the time I come back, the snow should be just about gone. There, of course, we'll still see some piles probably almost into the month of June, snow banks and stuff. But after a week out here, it can become very messy. The passenger seat right now, I have a bunch of gas cans sitting there, and there's also a lot of laundry and garbage. It starts to get gross in here after a while. But I get home and I do a deep cleaning. Yeah, this is a section. You can see I start riding closer to the side, which you gotta be careful. The side can be very soft this time of year. You see the snowmobilers must have cut this out, or the groomer who takes care of the snowmobile trails. I don't even know if there's a groomer this rural. I doubt it, because not many snowmobilers even come out, but somebody obviously cut it. Someone had a snowmobile with a chainsaw. See right here, I'm running over to the side because it is a little bit deep in the middle. I could bottom out, and if I push enough snow, I will get stuck like I did that earlier today. Yeah, right here is very deep. But since I was already here earlier, I doubt I'm going to get stuck in it since I've already cleared the way. This road to the left is just too snow covered to explore. Doesn't look it, but it's tight, so probably will become that way with the lack of sunlight getting in. And suddenly the road is just clear completely. Right here is a designated state campground. See, they have an outhouse, and down here are at least two fire pits I can see. Nicely made ones. This is an old abandoned gravel pit, but if the logging company needed it, they would just reopen it, bring a front loader in, and load it on into dump trucks to fix washouts and stuff, build up the roads where beavers destroyed it, that kind of stuff. Oh, I forgot. You guys are going to see a lot of floods coming up. Giant holes and stuff. This culvert is destroyed, that's why that's all marked. That one is an aluminum culvert. They fare better than plastic, but it's not too much better unless it's very deep in the ground. It is a soft metal, but at least if it's deep enough in the ground, it doesn't warp over time like plastic. As the ground settles, it has more tolerance to that. The biggest aluminum culvert I've ever seen, I believe, is the one at the Triangular Great Culvert in Massachusetts. It has a pretty good amount of water here. I did see a moose today. It was just curious. It wasn't showing aggression. It started running away from me, then it suddenly turned around straight at me. I think it was just curious. Oh, am I gonna bottom out? No. I think I did on the way in, but I drove on a different part. Look at all this water trickling down the road. Because look, to the left, the drainage ditch is just about non-existent. Can't even be used. So the water's just going down the road. The water's a little bit discolored, meaning it's eroding, causing damage, but the road is pretty rocky. I don't expect it to become completely impassable. Alright. Here we go. Here. No, that's not a culvert. That was a rock that looked like a corrugated culvert because of the deep etchings from the grader grinding it down rather than removing it, because it might be a very big rock. Starting to rain again. We've been picking up a lot of rain these couple days. Big splash. Comes a big flood. Here we go. This one was pretty deep. Gotta watch how I go through this one. Back up and we're gonna try that again. I should not have gone through the icy part. Should not have gone through the icy part. I should have gone through what I went through before. Right here. It'll be so awesome next spring thaw when I actually have a vehicle with metal skid plates where I don't have to worry about that ice ripping things off, because that's the reason why as soon as I started going in the water I slowed way down, because I was afraid of losing one. I already have one underneath temporarily held up with bungee cords until I get home for the pins. Actually, I'm mixing precipitation right now. It's not cold enough to stick, but I'm hearing some sleet mixing in. Oh, another flood. Even though the drainage ditch isn't functioning here, this is a pretty rocky road, built tough. Not as smooth of a ride, but it will have a lot of trouble washing out. Rain is starting to pick up. Somewhere I gotta watch it. There's a giant bump that throws things in the car if I hit it too fast. I did on the way in. Somewhere. It's a big vertical line across the road, so hopefully I can spot it now that I'm looking for it. When it's raining, I feel like it's way easier to find the holes because they're all going to be full of water. But if you come out on a dry day, all the shadows of trees, all the wet, dry spots, you can't really tell what's a hole and not. So sometimes you just hit them easier. This may have been it. Maybe. I think this was it. This is a huge dip from a failing culvert. That was probably it. Big splash. A lot of moose poops. Ooh, that looks like an interesting road to the left. Maybe we'll try that again in the summer. It's amazing how many times I gotta slam on the brakes on these roads, but yet I have never, I don't need brake pads often, amazingly. Because I am pretty conservative with braking, other than these abrupt bumps and holes. Haven't got a brake job now for 40,000 miles. They've still got a good amount on them. Yeah, these are the same brake pads I went out west with, where multiple times I had to stop and let them cool down because they started smoking. Yeah, the worst road I ever went on out west, it was a logging road. I was going so slow down it in lowest gear, but yet the brakes still kept overheating. I had to stop for 20 minutes at a time. And not when the brake is extremely hot, because it would warp, but when it cooled down just a little bit, I kept misting it with a little spray gun. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it accelerated it fast. This was a spot I was worried about getting stuck earlier also. You see all that as I stopped? That's just the exhaust that caught up with me. Because on days like this when it's rainy, there's a lot of steam coming out of the muffler or vapors. And also, as I'm driving through puddles, it's touching hot things on the car, making steam. All right, we're gonna go through here. That's just ice scraping against the bottom. Nothing that's completely solid. That was floating ice. Nothing abrupt like a big rock. Although I did hit a couple rocks the other day driving down roads with a lot of high grass. Summer's the worst time. There's hidden things if you don't have metal skid plates. Going down a road that's just dirt trails with high grass in the center. This is the best time of year. Everything's still pushed over from the snowpack. Even in the fall hunting season, you're gonna have a lot of that stuff, people hitting them. But most people are smart not to come out here and do that stuff if they know they're not capable. Amazingly, in this whole time in these woods, I've traveled 60,000 miles in these woods in the past 3 or 4 years, and only one complete idiot I've seen, a guy in a Prius, decided to keep on driving even though he was leaking oil after hitting a rock in the road. Just kept driving deeper into the wilderness until the engine locked up. Didn't even get out to check. You know that thing had to have had lights on the dashboard, check engine, oil low, that kind of stuff. You know it had to have. That's why every time I hit something, I'm keeping an eye on that dash for a while. But one person, I was out here in a sedan, which I knew definitely was only two-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive probably, which is way better than rear-wheel drive. But it takes skill when you're driving a vehicle out here that only has like 4 or 5 inches of clearance. That takes a lot of skill. That guy was going really slow and steady down these roads, but he made it. He's going real slow, taking his time. But all it takes is a big muddy patch. We haven't come across much mud today, but I know once I get off this road on the way home, there was a place I almost got stuck a couple days ago when it was fairly dry. Now that it's been raining solid for over a day, I'm afraid of one area. I may have to take like a 4-hour detour if I determine it isn't safe. I'm gonna get out and walk through it first, but there was an area where there's still running logging trucks, most logging operations. They're still stacking them by the road, stockpiling, but log trucks aren't going to be coming out for like another month until mud season is over. That area, they were still running log trucks, and there was ruts, some of them 2 feet deep, I estimate. I was able to avoid them, but I almost got stuck on one of them that I had to go through. It was in the middle of the night, so I want to go there and look at it again. I'm hoping I can go over to the side or whatever, but I'm assuming the log truck driver probably did that too. So it's probably all muddy, even if there was an edge a couple days ago. But maybe that log company has stopped since then with all this rain. Right here you see someone jammed a stick into the ground where this culvert is. Because it's, yeah, that's actually common. This is 2 sections of culvert when the company ordered it, and it's joined together with a coupling, which is the weakest part and fails often. That's what that is. And right here, another pipe looks like it has holes going into it. Somewhere on this road, I may have already passed it, I saw a culvert that was in good shape and it was flooding the whole road because of the excavator damage. Guy ruined he ruined the culvert with the excavator, but just left all the crumpled parts there that maybe could have been opened somewhat with the excavator while it was on scene, or cut off. That's the pipe right there. Look at this. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see it. This is the pipe I was... Maybe it's not. Maybe it's another one. But this pipe you can see right there. The grader or snowplow hit it. That's so sharp right there. It is very sharp. And I would put orange duct tape on that right now if it wasn't so wet. But also, that's not in the road. You have to be pretty dumb to hit that anyways. But never coming back out on these roads again without at least 1 can of orange marking paint. Can't use it in the rain, obviously, but I would be going around marking anything sharp in the middle of the road. But I'm already on the lookout for culverts when I'm out on these roads, so that helps me notice issues in the road with them related. Good amount of erosion here. The drainage ditches are nice and deep, but the water can't get there from years of grading and not grading all the way down into the ditch. Yeah, this water's kind of trapped. It can't get to the ditch. Well, everyone, I'm going to end the video just about here. I hope today's video was interesting, everybody. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.